Welcome to VFILES.DATA.
Comme des Garçons, French for like boys, is a Japanese fashion label founded by Rei Kawakubo. Kawakubo's first job was advertising department of textile manufacturer, Ache Kasui. She was required to find props and costumes for this job, and eventually resorted to producing costumes she could not find. Kawakubo became a freelance stylist and designer in 1967. Of this period in her life, the designer states, quote, "The very first thing I wanted to do when I started this was to make a living, be independent and have a job, but I could never find clothes that I wanted to wear, so I decided to make them myself," end quote. In 1973, Kawakubo opened a boutique in Tokyo's Minami Aoyama district in order to sell the garments she had produced thus far. Kawakubo elaborated on her young brand's vision at this point, already idiosyncratic within the fashion industry, stating that she, quote, "would make the clothes, bring them to the boutique and interact with clients daily. There were no mirrors in the boutique to emphasize the notion that one should buy clothes because of how they make you feel, not how they make you look." Her line would take the name, Comme des Garçons, borrowing from French singer François Hardy's song named Tous les garçons et les filles, which translates directly to all the boys and girls. The song is about a woman who has never found love, and is distressed by constant interaction with couples. The line, Comme des Garçons, is within the song itself. Kawakubo studied the history of aesthetics at KEIO University in the 60s, where she was classmates with Japanese designer Yohji Yamamoto. The two designers reconvened in the 1970s when Yamamoto divorced from his wife, and would become a couple. The designers were referred to as the monk and the nun, an interesting nickname for a couple given the necessity of chastity for both clerical figures. The couple would go on to separately produce black, draped clothing, however Kawakubo's would feature a larger amount of distressed fabric. In 1981, Kawakubo would give her debut fashion show in Paris. The contemporaneous fashion stars were Terry Mugler and VERSACE, who promoted a hyper-feminine, glam image. The Comme des Garçons show was in stark contrast to the flashy chic of the 80s. Black, shapeless garments with asymmetric hems, odd flaps, laddered knits, and shredded fabric dominated the collection. It was a signature style that had earned her fans at home the nickname Karasu, or the Crows, by the Japanese press. The Western press, however, chose a different nickname for the collection, Hiroshima Chic. This nickname is an allusion to the atomic bomb dropped on Japan by the United States of America in 1945 to end the Second World War. This was a devastating event that led to hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties in Japan. Clearly, however, this analogy was deemed the most apt by fashion editors to describe distressed clothing originating from Japan. Comme des Garçons would continue to show clothing in Paris at fashion weeks. The brand has been known for many years to make items that are not necessarily considered conventionally wearable to human beings. In the fall-winter 1989 show, the models were sent down the runway with enormous tubular hats. In the fall of 1989, the television program, The Simpsons, debuted its first episode. Whether or not the show was inspired by the hairstyle of the matriarch in the enormously popular cartoon series is unknown. Kawakubo's new aesthetic would go on to proliferate throughout the fashion industry through designers inspired by her designs, as well as designers she helped to launch. In 1992, Comme des Garçons pattern cutter, JUNYA WATANABE, launched his eponymous line to great success. In 1994, the brand branched out from its focus on clothing and released its first fragrance. 1998 saw the release of Comme des Garçons' first anti-perfume, ODEUR 53. The anti-perfume is notable for its inclusion of 53 non-traditional notes such as oxygen, flash of metal, wash drying in the wind, mineral carbon, sand dunes, nail polish, cellulose, pure air of the high mountains, burnt rubber, and flaming rock among others. The allure of the scent is not understood by this computational unit in reference to other fragrances. In 2002, Comme des Garçons Play debuted a diffusion line of the main brand. A diffusion brand is an offshoot of a brand, often a runway brand, that is more affordable and mass-produced. Frequently it is seen as an opportunity for the brand to leverage the exchange value produced by the brand's aura without lowering the price of their primary label, diminishing its exhibition value. The Comme des Garçons Play line is known for the inclusion of a heart bearing a smiling face. The heart was designed by graphic artist Philip Pagowsky in the early 80s, when Pagowsky expressed his enjoyment of Kawakubo's shows. Pagowsky often attended subsequent Comme des Garçons shows, and worked as a model for the brand in 1992. After this, he designed the heart emblem for the brand, which would go on to become the face of Play. In September 2004, Kawakubo and Comme des Garçons opened Dover Street Market, in London's Mayfair district, which would then move to Haymarket Street. Dover Street Market would then expand to locations in New York, Tokyo, and Beijing. The store is an avant-garde art-like destination for capitalist exchange, incentivizing purchasing through depicting it as a bohemian act. Kawakubo and Comme des Garçons continue to produce surreal, beautiful clothing that no humans have ever worn on the street before. In the fall-winter 2016 show, Kawakubo sent models down the runway dressed in clothing that mimicked home goods, such as down comforters, lampshades, doilies and wall insulation. This may be a sign that the brand intends to branch out into home goods. Data transmission complete.